Hey, college coaches. This is Coach Anthony Williams, founder and CEO of Connected Athletics. We're a startup-based company here in Austin, Texas, focused on helping student athletes communicate better, network with other student athletes during the recruiting process, connect with college coaches during the recruiting process, and specifically to help them successfully transition from high school to college to either a career in the NFL or a career in their major. We've interviewed a lot of great prospects in and out of the state of Texas, and we have another great DB join us today for the first time. He is a class of 22 defensive back from Klein High School in the Houston area, 6'3", 190 pounds, tremendous GPA of 4.4. He was first team all district last year and the defensive newcomer of the year in his district. Let's welcome Antwion Broussard to the podcast. AJ, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing great. Thank you for taking the time to come on our show and tell your story. Let's just jump right in here. College coaches, the first thing they're always focused on, as you know, is academics. Please tell us how you're managing this great 4.4 GPA.
I have my parents and I have this teacher named Miss Levecki, and they always help and push me to be the best person I can be and help me with my grades.
Okay. What are some of your favorite subjects, AJ? Are you a math guy, science, what?
I like English more because I like to write more.
Okay. Do you have goals of maybe being a writer down the road, or how do you plan on using that talent once football's over?
I want to major in journalism.
Okay. And do you want to be a writer, an author, or a sports journalist, or what are you thinking?
Yes, sir. I want to be a sports writer.
Okay. I like it. Okay. Tell me, you already mentioned one of your teachers. Is there anybody else at Klein Oak that has played a major role in you driving that strong GPA?
Somebody at Klein Oak is really my coaches, like Coach Vaughn and Coach Glenn. They really help me to stay on track and help me with my grades.
Yeah, shout out to Coach Glenn. He and I have interacted a lot over the years. Does a great job managing and running that program and putting out some tremendous student athletes. So shout out to Coach Glenn on that. You talked about, you majoring in journalism once you get to college. Tell these coaches a little bit about your criteria. I know you're still early in the recruiting process, but do you have an idea of what your criteria is going to be for committing to a college? Will it be the major? Will it be distance from home, culture, scheme? What are you thinking?
It'll probably be the major and probably the culture.
Okay. Talk to us about that. Why those two things are important to you, obviously with the journalism, but tell us about the other things that are important and why.
Probably the culture, because I'm not really like an outspoken person. I'm really like a inside person. So if their culture is like outgoing and stuff, I don't think I'll be able to last there. So I have to go somewhere where it fits me.
Okay. College coaches always want to know if you're are you a Texas native?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And does going to school outside of Texas, are you open to that, or would you prefer to stay in state for your education?
I would prefer to stay in state, but it doesn't matter if I have to go out of state.
Okay. Sounds good. Tell us a little bit about, as we transition to you as a player, what do you consider some of your strengths and some of the things you're working on as you go into your junior season?
My strengths are really like my football IQ. I can really like dissect the play fast, but some of my weaknesses are like trying to help too many people. Like I try to do too many people's job instead of just doing mine.
Yeah, typical. Let me throw out some of the skills that it takes to be a great defensive back, and you grade yourself from 0 to 5, 0 being low, 5 being the best on these different skills. Talk to me about your footwork. What would you grade yourself in that?
I think I got pretty good footwork. I think I rated like a 4 or 5. I think.
Okay. What about your hip fluidity?
I can work on my hips. They're a little like weak, so probably like a 2 or a 3.
Okay. Honesty. What about your hands and press coverage? How active and violent are you with your hands?
In press, I usually just use my feet, but okay. I can press.
Okay. So you give yourself a good grade in that. What about your eyes? What about your eye progression?
My eyes are probably like a 2. My eyes be everywhere.
Okay. What about ball skills?
I think I have pretty good ball skills, so I really like a 4 out of 5.
Okay. And then what about mental preparation, studying game film, reading quarterbacks, reading route progressions? What would you grade yourself in that?
Probably like a 2 or a 3. I can use a little help with that.
Okay. AJ, I'm going to be honest. I mean, that is a very honest and objective grading system of yourself. A lot of players give themselves 4s and 5s when I know they still need work in that area. So I commendate you on sharing those honest grades about yourself. Tell me a little bit about, as you go into this season, what individual goals do you have for yourself going into your junior year?
Last year, I could have had a lot of more picks, but like towards the beginning of the year, I just started playing, so I dropped a lot of them. So I probably could get more picks than I had last year, and probably more.
What about how would you grade yourself in run support?
I'm a pretty good tackler. I come down a lot, so I'd probably say 4 or 5 on that too.
Okay. And you have tremendous size. That begs the question, can you play corner, nickel, and safety, or do you just prefer playing safety?
I can play safety and nickel. Corner's a little more difficult to me because I got to use my hands, but I'm better at off
Okay.
coverage.
And that kind of leads my next question. I think you just answered it. Do you prefer when you're in nickel being in man or in zone, or does it matter to you?
It really doesn't matter, but I like playing man more.
Okay. That's fair. Tell me, coaches want to know about your relationship with your high school coaches. Tell us about the relationship you have with your position coach and your head coach. You mentioned them a little earlier.
With my position coach, Coach Vaughn, he helps me a lot, and he talks to me a lot and mentors me, and Coach Glenn as well. They both help me, and they both just talk to me about life and just sports in general.
Okay. That's fair enough. Tell us, what are some of the things what are some of the life skills you've learned from playing the game of football? Give me 1 or 2 of them.
I've probably learned how to interact with people more and how to just be more confident in myself.
Okay. I like that. Hey, let's bring up your video real quick. If anybody hasn't seen it, the coaches haven't seen AJ's video, it's very impressive. Shows great cover skills and great ball skills. AJ, I'm going to bring it up, and I just want you to kind of commentate to a few plays and talk about your football IQ when it comes to these plays. Let me go ahead and share my screen here real quick so you can see it and the coaches can see it. All right, can you see that okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to hit play and just kind of walk us through some of these great plays.
This first play is against MacArthur, and we're playing cover 2, so I had to get over the top. And the middle guy ran a seam route, so I had to get over the top. I caught the pick.
That is a great play. Safety staying on top of the route like you're supposed to, good angle on the ball, eyes up looking for the ball, and then finishing the play. That's a tremendous first play to put on the video.
And then this play right here, we were originally in cover 3, but then they ran the same play like 2 plays before. So then I came down and I caught the pick.
Let's run it back again so we can see that. Jump the route, make the catch, get the field, turn to a big play. Showing good speed there.
And then this play right here, we were in cover 3, and then we worked on this all practice where they had a guy run a drag route, and I came down and I intercepted
Hey, you tell us about your eyes. I mean, most good quarterbacks, I know you face a lot of good quarterbacks in your district and here in the state of Texas. Quarterbacks are taught to move safeties with their eyes. How do you focus on not being moved out of position to make these great plays? Tell us a little bit about that as we play this.
I don't really open up my body. I like weave to where the quarterback is going. So then whenever he throw the ball, I'm still in pretty good position on where he's at.
Okay. And then are you also looking at route progression, looking at the different routes from a center field standpoint?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. All right, let's go to the next play.
And then this play right here, this was like the last play of the game, so they had to just throw it up, and then I picked it off.
You know, AJ, you're very athletic with good speed and size. Are you also involved in special teams at Klein?
Yes, sir. I usually do kick return, and then last year I was the gunner on punt.
Okay. All right, tell us about this next play, then we'll finish up here.
This play, we were in like a man. So then, whenever the guy motioned, I had to switch with my guy playing slot. So I had to come down and make the play.
Great acceleration, open field, great tackle and finishing. No arm tackling there. That's very impressive.
And then this play right here, they had kept on switching routes, and I had to come down and make the play.
Great acceleration again. Good tackling technique. Head across the front, wrap, drive the guy down to the ground. That's good stuff right there.
And then this play right here, they were playing, me and Dwight were playing like a combo. So then if the guy came inside, I had to come down and help. And Dwight would tell me, like, if he was coming inside or outside.
AJ, talk to us about your physicality. I mean, being safety is obviously a special position because it isn't just all about playing center field. You got to come downhill and sometimes send a message and a tone for your defense. Talk to us about your mentality when it comes to being physical and making your tackles.
I think I'm pretty physical because sometimes when I'm playing, Coach Vaughn has to tell me sometimes to lay off and stop being so physical because I have to play the pass too.
Okay. Those are all great highlights. You can see why you're getting so much recruiting attention right now. It's very, very impressive. Tell me a little bit, as we talk about recruiting right now, how is the recruiting experience for you? Who are you hearing from, and who do you want to hear from?
Right now, I'm not really getting too much action, but I'm really open to hear from anybody at this point.
Great mentality. I can tell you, because you're only going in your junior year, playing varsity sophomore, seeing this video, that's going to change here coming up this fall. You are obviously a player with great skills and then the great GPA. We're going to have a different conversation about this when I interview you later on. There'll be a lot of players, a lot of coaches interested in you. Tell me about, one of the things that coaches want to understand is adversity. Tell us a time, either personally or on dealing with sports or football, when you had to overcome some type of adversity.
I basically had to do it my whole life because, like, when I was younger, I had to switch teams, and they would think, like, because I'm not as big as everybody, that I'm not, like, as good as them. But then as soon as I play and I make one play, then they find out that I'm pretty good.
Okay. Tell us, what age did you start playing football, and when did you fall in love with playing football?
I started, my first year was flag football, and I started at 7 years old. But I started loving it when I was like 5, and then we moved over here to like spring, and then my dad put me in flag football, and then I started.
When was the moment when you said, I think I can play this game at the college level? Was that last year? Was it sometime before that? When was that time?
Yes, sir. Last year, because my freshman year I got moved up, but then I didn't really get to play that much, so I didn't know. But last year I got to play a lot, and it was a lot of good seniors on my team that helped me, and I thought that I could really play at the next level.
Okay. Is there a certain college or NFL defensive back that you like to pattern your game off of? Who is that player?
Most people like to say I play like Bob Sanders and Tyrann Mathieu.
Okay. What is it about their games that you're trying to incorporate into your game?
I really like how Tyrann Mathieu, he just made so many plays on the field, and so did Bob Sanders. They were just always around the ball.
Okay. Good players. You obviously, there's a lot of talent on your team there at Klein Oak, and you've played against a lot of great players. Take this time to shout out some of your teammates or some guys you've played against that you think college coaches need to take a look at.
Some of my teammates, we have a really good quarterback coming up this year. His name's Drew Barra, And then our defensive backs, they're pretty good. Joshua, and then I got a brother named Torn, and then we got another DB. And basically, our whole team is really just good, just coming up.
Okay. Tell me, with your athletic ability and your size, what other sports do you play at Klein Oak?
I play basketball and I run track.
Okay. What events do you run in track?
I run the 1, the 2, and the 400.
Okay. Tell me one thing. College coaches love athletes who run track and play football. But tell these college coaches one thing you learned from running track that has made you a better football player.
With track, it just helps me stay in shape and it helps me compete more because you really can't who's next to you. But when they run and you got to run with them, you just can't run your race.
Okay. Another question that coaches like to ask all the time of prospects is, why do you think your game translates to the college level?
Because when I watch college football, I can point out a lot of things. And then some of the people, like when I watch the safeties, most of the time, some of them are doing what I be doing on the high school level.
Okay, that's fair enough. Let's get to know you personally a little bit. You've got great size, 6'3", 190. What do you think your height and weight will be by the time you graduate from Klein Oak?
I'm not really sure, but I'm not 6'3", 190. I'm 5'9". But
oh, you're 5'. Okay, we got a typo on there. So you're 5'9". Well, still tell me. I mean, is there a height in your family? What height do you think you'll be by the time you graduate?
I could probably be around like 5'10", 5'11", because I think I still have time to grow. My doctor always tells me I have time to grow, but yeah, and then I can still beef up a little bit because I don't be eating that much.
Okay. And then tell us about your parents. What do your parents do and what influence have they had in your life?
My dad and my mom, they work like in business, so they work like behind the computers. My dad, he do like an oiling company, and my mom, she works behind like the trash people and help them like get situated. But they had a big influence on me because they always been with me and always by my side.
Okay. Are you an only child? Are you the oldest or the middle? Tell us about your siblings if you have any.
I have 3 other brothers. I have one older brother that's about to be a senior, and then I have 2 younger brothers, one going to 7th grade and one is going to 1st grade.
Okay. Tell us the importance you put on being a great big brother to your siblings.
I just show them the way, and every time I go do something, I bring it back to them and I help them to show them how to do it.
Well, one thing I can definitely tell, and I'm sure all your siblings have great academics also, but looking up and seeing your brother have a 4.4 GPA, that's a great example to set for those future athletes or students that are coming along behind you. So commend you on that. Still dealing with your kind of who you are personally away from football. What are some of the things you like to do in your spare time when you're not training and playing football? Do you like to hunt, fish, hang out with your friends, be out in the water? What do you like to do in your spare time?
Most of the time I'm just hanging out with I only got like a couple of friends and I just hang out with them and play the game with them and just chill.
Okay. Are you a video game guy? Are you a Madden 2K guy or no?
Yes, sir. That's really all I play is Madden 2K.
Okay. Well, then begs the obvious question, are you giving L's or taking L's?
I mean, I'm winning.
I like it. Hey, obviously, with you being a teenager, every teenager is always near their phone. What are some of the favorite apps you like to spend a lot of time on? Are you an Instagram guy, TikTok, Twitter, or what?
I mostly be on 3 apps, just Snapchat, Instagram, and I be on TikTok a lot.
Okay. And then let's say we look forward to this fall, pregame. What are some of the artists you're listening to in your playlist to get you hyped before a game?
I listen to a lot of Polo G and Lil Baby.
Okay. Polo G's a new one. That one I haven't heard from a lot of the kids. That's interesting. Tell us, what kind of player are you in pregame? Are you one that's kind of getting everybody hyped up in the locker room before the game? Are you off in the corner just thinking about your assignments and what you have to do to be successful in the game? Which player are you?
I'm really not a rah-rah guy. I'm just a person that just sits back and then I just listen to my music and just wait till the game starts.
Okay. As we're trying to come out of this COVID-19 environment and getting outside and hanging out with our friends or maybe a girlfriend, what's your shoe game looking like? Are you a big shoe guy or no?
I mean, not really. I wear a lot of Vapor Max and Vans. I have some Jordans, but it's not like that.
Okay, that's cool. Tell me also, let's say you have a great next couple years in high school, maybe 3 or 4 years in college. You're in New York City waiting for the commissioner to call your name at the NFL draft. Who is sitting at your table waiting for your name to be called?
I mean, it got to be my family, but it really got to be my mom, my dad, and my brothers. And if you could fit my granny in, those are like the people that I have to have on my side.
Okay. AJ, tell us, how do you define leadership, and how do you plan on leading this year as a junior?
Leadership, in my eyes, is just someone who does the right thing and people want to follow. And that's really what I do. I'm not really a person that like tells somebody what to do, but I'm going to do the right thing, and people are going to more than likely just follow me.
Okay, I like it. Coaches also want to understand about your competitive spirit. Tell these coaches about your competitive spirit in detail.
I'm pretty competitive because like every time I do something and I don't win, I just keep on trying and trying until I finally just get it. And then when I get it, I mean, I just got it.
Okay. Also, tell us about, giving back to the community is a big part of being a student athlete. What are you doing now to give back to your community? Are you involved with your church? Are you involved in a nonprofit group? What are you doing to give back?
Sometimes the Coach Glenn be getting us together, and then we just go and we go help the community out in like stores and stuff like that.
Okay. Tell us, what is going to be the one thing that you are looking forward to as you transition from high school to college? Is it the schoolwork? Is it playing with other really good players? What's the one thing that you're looking forward to playing college football?
Probably playing with better players. Not like my team is just bad, but like playing with people that's like, I don't know how to explain it, but like just playing with people like hard to explain.
No, I mean, it makes sense because as most people know, only 3% of high school athletes are going to play their sport at the college level. And so it is a good experience as a former college athlete myself. When you play with other guys who are also the best guys at their school, it definitely it allows you to increase your level of play. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Hey, as we finish up here, tell these coaches in an elevator pitch, 30 seconds, tell them why they should recruit you and tell them what you're going to bring to their program.
I'll bring a lot of competitiveness and just my heart. Like I think I have a good drive, and I think I'm just a fun person to be around when I'm like just comfortable in the environment. Okay.
And then tell us, what is AJ's life going to look like whenever the game of football is over? What is your life going to look like when it's all said and done?
I'm probably going to try to be like a sports writer, and just stay intact with like sports in general because I love it so.
Okay, well, great. Well, AJ, I'm so looking forward to seeing you play this fall. I definitely have a couple of Klein games on my schedule to come out and support Coach Glenn and a lot of the players there. Continue to be safe as you work out the summer, and we will see you during the upcoming season, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Thanks, and have a great day.
Thank you, too.